Well, I didn't see anything of great significance in there, so I'm sure I'll be editing that out. We skip through the dull bits. Let's see if I can get this guy going west, like I said, I'm doing with the others as well. So in fact, maybe he needs to come a bit further down. Not too sure. About here. Doesn't really matter. Technological advance. I don't want the diamond formation, as I've explained before. So let's sort that out and get something else out. It means, of course, that we've got some other resource. And I'd rather have... well, I'm going to go now for the metric system, I've decided. Metric system, show you what it does there. Plus 10 to the technology research rate, so it'll speed up our research rate. We're actually getting a bit ahead of ourselves now with the research rate, because we need the factory and and various barracks to be built, or drill halls to be built, before we can move on. So I am now picking up some things that perhaps I don't really need. But anyway, in Iasi, which is a place here which is just on the border. See, I'll be doing my homework a little bit. There it is. And what I want to do in here is build a drill school. Now the drill school gets me better troops, of course. Also, it enables me to move on to the next stage of technology, conscript infantry tactics, for instance. We could talk about those when the time comes, but certainly want one in there. Also in Belgrade, the place, if you remember, that I sent, was it Buxhowden into? Oh, that's Zagreb. I do know where it is, I promise you. There it is. What I'm going to do in here is put a drill school in there as well. Is it Buxhowden in there? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to have a drill school in there as well, so I can get some better quality troops out of there. Now, over in Moscow, I'm trying to keep to historical precepts, and what I'm trying to do is make sure that when, I'm assuming, Napoleon comes to attack us, that we've got really, really good stuff here in Moscow. So that's a stud farm. It makes my horses cheaper to recruit, and it also gives me regional wealth as well. So anyway, everything's going to centre around Moscow for us. Now I know I've been told by my friendly Russian that St. Petersburg really is the capital, but unfortunately in this game it is definitely Moscow. Nothing I can do about that. Let's have a look at the ministers while we're here now. That's another thing I can be doing this turn. Has anybody gained anything, done anything, improved at all? 1 iota? Nope. Nothing. So let's see if we can improve the treasury then. I can't choose any of these, by the way. It automatically does it for me. So I'll look on there. I get absolutely nothing. Has he got any features, any characteristics? None of them have got anything whatsoever that's any use to me. So all a complete load of rubbish. But anyway, that's one of the problems with democracy. So the people are much happier now they've got a bunch of idiots running them. But that's not a comment on any modern society, by the way. But anyway, 1,233 is still in the pot. That's more than I expected to have. Don't quite know why that is. I got my 2 drill schools, and I got my stud farm south of Moscow. So it looks like we've got a bit of extra money coming in. Don't know why that is. Well, it just goes to show that when you work things out on paper, they don't often work out the way you expect them to. But anyway, that's the end of the beginning of December 1806. Well, I think I might just leave the Prussian bits in there, because the Prussian ones seem to be the only ones that are doing anything, and skip the rest of it, because it was all pretty rubbish, the rest of it. Those are those 2 that I wanted in Belgrade, if you remember. What does it say in there? Oh, Balkans, right, okay. No, I'm pretty sure they were in Belgrade that I was recruiting those under Buxhowden. Right, okay, that's not the one that I got in Moscow recently, that's one from much earlier. So, right, the second part of December, not a lot to do this time. This time I'm going to go for Zagreb. because I'm going to see if I can get some decent troops in here as well. So I'm going to build a drill school in here as well. Like I said, we're putting a fortress up here, so I am going to sort of try and make a play for improving this place. Look at this. Everything is up to speed already. That just needs 7 more troops in it. That's all it needs. Goodness, mate, that's an amazing recovery from a big battle, isn't it, like that, on against such large numbers of troops. Well, we have got this in here. Supply warehouse, plus 14 to replenishment rate. Could make that better actually and make it plus 22, but anyhow, we'll see where we go with that one. That might be one for the future. It's a bit exposed out there for me. I'm still intending on building up Moscow, ready for, as I said, that big push that the enemy might be putting on for drill school certainly, towards Moscow. Also, I'm thinking that if I have decent roads in Moscow, I should then be able to filter some decent troops into the rest of Europe. Well, we'll see. No, you never know. History might repeat itself. Napoleon might come all the way through. I'm on the bottom left-hand map now. All the way through, up to Moscow, while I'm building up my armies. Hopefully I'll get him in the winter, defeat him back in the winter, and push him all the way back. Wouldn't that be fun if we actually recreated the original history? But anyway, we shall see. Ministers. What I'm going to do is, any of these achieved anything? I don't know how many times I checked these. Treasury is the one that I'm probably most concerned with, since justice they seem most happy with at the moment. Nothing at all. Any characteristics, anything good, anything happening, nothing whatsoever. Nothing at all. So, totally useless to me, I'm afraid, those ministers. So it's just like real democracy, isn't it, really? Oh gosh, I lapsed into it again, didn't I? Unexploited resources. I know about that, but I've done my homework and I know exactly what resources I want, thank you very much. So you can just leave me alone. So what have we got here now? There's Vienna. It's going to make loads and loads of money, Vienna, isn't it? But can't really do much about that. Let's see what 1807 brings in, because this is the end of December. Oh, you might well notice, by the way, that if you do see anybody like, Prussians or whatever, moving around, with it being winter, they all go to Skull and Crossbones. That means they're losing troops as they move around, which is great. So the French decided to siege me here, with it being winter at the moment. They'd actually lose troops from attrition, probably faster than I would in a siege situation. Anyway, bring on 1807. Well, we've got fire in advance. Somebody's told me this is really good fun, and it's worth getting. Obviously, I believe them. I'd like to see it myself as well and see how it works out. I've always found it a bit of a waste of time, really, in Empire Total War, principally because... oh, hang on, what am I doing here? Am I doing the right thing? Yes, that's right. Think instead of talking, Graham. That's the main thing. Right, I'm going to get trade unions instead. What I was going to say was, in Empire Total War, as indeed in the 18th century, standing back in lines and waiting for the enemy to come to you, and in fact prompting them by firing artillery at them, was the provoking them, I should say, by firing artillery at them, was the way to win battles, really. So fire in advance, I thought, was pretty useless in Empire Total War.